This is part 1 of the pawn. In the distant corners of that large living room, the shadows stirred furtively, uneasily. Momentarily, the fire's dying embers made them larger, more grotesque. There was a tenebrous thickness in the corners that would have seemed almost unaccounted for, to one unfamiliar with the tricks of a flickering firelight. It was after 2 in the morning, and Terry Lenehan, in his overstuffed chair under the bridge lamp, debated with himself the advisability of turning in for the night. Before him stood a low oriental table, inlaid with ivory and vari-colored woods, forming a chessboard, and on the table, in 4 neat and well-ordered rows, stood a set of ivory chessmen, white and blood-red. Suddenly the eyes of Terry widened, a flash of surprised interest gleaming in their blue depths. He leaned forward, his strong white hands gripping the arms of the chair until the nails dug into the upholstery and the white of the knuckles showed. Had he imagined it? Or had the king's pawn actually moved forward 2 spaces? No, it was so. In front of him was the chessboard, with the blood-red men before him. On the other side of the table was an empty chair, facing the white chessmen. "The chair is empty," said Terry to himself. This was indisputable. Yet how could it be? The white king's pawn had moved forward 2 spaces. This he could see. There it was, gleaming alone in the center of the board. What hand had moved it, in this room that contained only Terry Lenehan and the shifting, dying shadows? "Getting sleepy," said Terry. "Must have moved the darn thing myself without thinking." His hand went forward, and in the almost reflex action that is familiar to every chess player, he moved his own red pawn forward to meet the white in the usual chess opening. He had no purpose in this. Almost any chess player seeing a board with the men standing in this position would have done the same, idly, just as a ball player with a ball in his hand would absent-mindedly toss it up and catch it. The effect, however, was electrical. His opponent's white knight jumped the row of pawns and moved forward crookedly. Rigid, transfixed, Terry Lenehan stared at the chessboard. He had seen no human hand, no living fingers had moved the white knight. Yet it had moved, and now it stood solidly and squarely in its new space. What strange power was this that confronted him? There were few things of flesh and blood that could strike fear into the heart of Terry Lenehan, as the frontline trenches and the Argonne Forest knew. But this was nothing human, nothing that one could lay his hand upon. A strange haze seemed to fall upon the room, dispelled but feebly in the one place where the amber light of the bridge lamp beat down upon Terry, the oriental chessboard, and the empty chair that seemed no longer empty, though no earthly eyes could discern any form sitting there. To be continued in part 2 of the pawn. Hey there! If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing to XOXO Gossip Lips, you won't miss out on any of our future videos packed with entertainment, knowledge, and fun. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Happy watching! Cheers!